Tao. The need to move to a place of, into the world of nature. In the process of transformation, there is always a need to move into the world of nature. This has to be understood because it has a deep significance. Ego is there. We are surrounded by this family of ego. It's a family of ego with many offsprings of first generation, second generation, and future generation. Ego is a family, a large family of many generations. If you move into the forest, forest means a world of nature. Hilltop means a world of nature, where nature exists in its purest innocence. If you move to the forest, where there is no one, you are all alone, ego disappears. Or if you move to the mountain top or hilltop, again the same thing happens. You are alone there. You can nourish and nurture your aloneness. There is no one to interact with. One can create the situation deep within. One can be amidst the world of duality, objects and beings, and yet is still deep within, nourish and nurture this aloneness, where there is no one to interact with. Every moment, one should find a moment when he moves eternally into the world of nature. Aloneness, no one is there to interact with. This is what indeed meditation is all about. And this is the essence of this sutra which we are coming to you now. It says, abide in some place endlessly spacious. There can be no endlessly spacious space than your own innerness or your own mind. On some hilltop, from where you can see endlessly beyond time and space, from where the vision never comes to an end. If you can see endlessly and there is no end to your ultimate vision, ego dissolves. Your mind provides the hilltop, the spacious space from where you can visualize things beyond time and space, beyond the limitations, as long as you know how to nourish and nurture your aloneness. And that moment when you are in your eternal cave or inner hilltop of awakening, inner hilltop of awakening, all boundaries have vanished. Ego needs limits, boundaries, but the inner hilltop, the spacious clearing that you have created deep within you, is limitless, unbound by space and time. There is no definition to it, no boundaries. Their ego cannot exist. The sutra where Shiva is telling Devi to create, abide in some place endlessly spacious, clear of trees, hills, habitations, then comes to the end of mind pressures. One can create this space meditatively deep within as the depth of the ocean, or a clearing within the forest or the hilltop. When you mentioned of your vision that in your search for your master, you went to a forest and reached a clearing. This is the moment this sutra Shiva tells Devi. Endlessly spacious, clear of trees, hills, and habitation. This is the inner space. You were given a vision of this inner space. You were given the vision by Shiva, by your eternal Shiva, to his eternal consort Devi. What does it mean? Endlessly spacious, clear of trees, hills, and spacious. Then comes to the endless end of mind. There was no mind available at that moment. You see, what you experienced at that moment was beyond time and space. What you have envisioned at that time was to happen in reality after decades. So it was the same thing that Gurdjieff has mentioned. If a person is sitting on a tree as compared to being on the ground, he can see the deep past, the events emerging from the past, coming in front of the screen as a present moment, and going beyond the present moment into the future. Something that you was at that moment able to envision, something that is coming from the deep past, means an insatiable quest to be in the company of the eternal master. Then, as a present moment, you are in that spacious clearing in the forest where there was no hilltops, no habitation, just clear of trees a space. This space is your consciousness. And in that space, clear of trees, hills, and any kind of habitation, these symbolize metaphorically the thoughts, emotions, and feelings which stay in our inner consciousness as trees, habitations, obstructions, and they block your vision to see beyond time and space. So your eternal master, eternal Shiva, took you to that event, into the clearing in the forest, into your deep consciousness, deep state of awakening, where you could envision beyond time and space. Shiva tells Devi this. Abide in some place endlessly spacious, clear of trees, hills, and habitations. One can get a vision of this space. This is the beginning, and then one can live in that vision, in that space, even while being amidst the objects and beings. Such is the situation of an awakened person or an enlightened one, or who has just experienced this state. From there, that is not the end, from where the real journey begins. Like, first goal is to obtain a degree from the university. Thereafter, entire horizon, the space is available to you, infinite directions and dimensions to continue your research. So after enlightenment, you have entered into an infinite dimension, infinite space, from where you can look at life and do what you are destined to do or have come to perform your role. Mind is very subtle. You can live on the hilltop where is no one. You can create this hilltop meditatively within your mind, or a clearing where there is no trees, no habitation. Trees is symbolic of one thing, and habitation metaphorically symbolizes thoughts, emotions, and feelings which occupy your inner space. When your inner space is free of trees and any kind of habitation, you have understood the meaning of this message. You have understood the essence of the vision that you were given. And just like you, many have been given such visions who have never understood the nature of their vision. You were lucky enough to understand it, and it was explained to you also. Mind is very subtle. You can live on a hilltop of consciousness within the mind, or in the clearing in a forest deep within. You can see a cottage deep down in the valley. You will start talking with that cottage. You will be in relationship with it. You can come out of that. You can move to that cottage for a few moments. Envision your innerness. You do not know who lives there, but someone lives there and becomes And when you visit that place for a single moment and you see your own image, many times when things like this happen, we start dreaming about who lives there, and your eyes search each day to see who lives there. But the moment you are visiting that, not to ponder over who lives there, instead, that means you are moving in the past or future. When you visit in the present moment, you envision your own being. Present moment is a reflection of your own being in that solitary cottage, be it in the valley or on the bank of the ocean or somewhere else. The very essence of what Shiva tells Devi is be in some place and be alert. Do not create this society again or create this space, the hilltop of consciousness within you, or a deep valley, or a beach with a cottage there, light flickering as an attraction for you within your own inner consciousness. Create, and if you do not create any society anywhere, ways, you may start tending a tree, loving tree. You may feel that tree is feeling thirsty, so you should bring some water. You have started a relationship. When you entered in that clearing, nothing of this sort was there. No relationship, you were all alone. And when you are in that moment of all alone, the past is not there, the future is not there. You are in the present moment from that hilltop of consciousness, hilltop of your inner silence, your meditative insights. You see beyond time and space. So the emphasis that Shiva gives, move to such a space, but have it in your mind that you are not going to create any relationship there. Leave all relationships and the world of relationships behind and be there alone. What did happen in that moment of your vision? You were all alone. No thought of any relationship. No fear of being alone in a lonely place in the forest clearing. No fear of animals or anything. No fear of being lost into the dense forest. Nothing of this sort. No danger of relationship, fear of animals or anything. So, this is the emphasis, move to such a place, but have in your mind very clear you are not going to create any relationship. You can be in a state of deep love but not creating a relationship. Leave all relationships and the world of relationships behind and be alone in that moment. In the beginning, it is going to be very difficult because your mind is always capable of creating societies, creating associations. You can leave the society, but where would you leave the mind? The mind will follow you like a shadow. Mind will haunt you, but if you can create the deep state of innerness, a clearing in the forest deep within your consciousness, then nothing will happen. And you will understand this sutra much better enough for now.
में कामयाब नहीं हो पाए हैं क्योंकि जो स्वीपर कवर के फील्डर थे उन्होंने इस गेम को फील्ड कर दिया है। तो रन जो है वो लेने का मौका इस गेम के ऊपर हम देख पा रहे हैं।